For years, there was a dream of a city unlike any other, a city where the future was now, and Africa would lead the way into a new world of smart technology, eco-friendly innovation, and cryptocurrency. But what was once seen as a revolutionary project, Akon City, has turned into a cautionary tale of ambition, delays, and empty promises. Today, on CrimeFacts, we unravel the mystery behind the rise and fall of Akon City. Akon City was meant to be the future. Picture this: a sprawling, high-tech metropolis on the coast of Senegal, powered by renewable energy and fueled by a digital currency, Akon's very own Akoin. Inspired by the futuristic Wakanda in Black Panther, this city was billed as the first of its kind, a shining example of what Africa could achieve with the right mix of technology, innovation, and ambition. But what happened to Akon City? Why did it go from being hailed as a beacon of progress to an abandoned construction site? Stick with us as we walk through the dramatic rise and fall of one of the most ambitious urban projects of the 21st century. June 2018, the grand announcement. It all began in June of 2018, during the Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity. The world first heard of Akon's grand vision. Senegalese-American artist Akon, whose real name is Alioune Badara Thiam, announced plans to create a smart, crypto-powered city in his home country. The city would operate using Akoin, a digital currency designed to fuel everything from daily transactions to large-scale business deals. Akon promised that this city would be a marvel, complete with solar-powered everything, sleek glass towers, luxury hotels, and cutting-edge technology that would put the rest of the world to shame. And according to Akon, Senegal's then-president Macky Sall had granted him 2,000 acres of land to make it all a reality. It seemed like a dream come true. But as we all know, dreams don't always go as planned. January 2020, the partnership and the promise of glory. By 2020, the project was beginning to take shape in the public eye. Akon signed a memorandum of understanding with SAPCO, Senegal's state-owned tourism company, to further the development of the city. The media coverage was extensive, with 3D renderings of the proposed city, complete with sparkling skyscrapers and eco-friendly designs, captivating the imaginations of people worldwide. In a press release, Akon spoke about the city in glowing terms, saying it would be an eco-responsible city inspired by Wakanda, designed to boost tourism and modernize Senegal's infrastructure. This was a vision of African Renaissance, a city for the future that would rival the world's most technologically advanced cities. The city would be built on 55 hectares of land near the coastal village of Mbodieni, just 100 kilometers south of Dakar. It was going to cost $6 billion and be fully completed by 2029. Phase 1 was slated for 2023. But then, the silence came. August 2020. Groundbreaking ceremony and growing concerns. In August 2020, a groundbreaking ceremony was held, signaling the start of construction. Senegalese officials, including Minister of Tourism Alioune Sarr, attended the event. The lead contractor, KE International, a company specializing in green infrastructure, was on board to handle the planning, construction, and management of the city. It was a big moment. The world was watching. Yet, just a month later, cracks began to appear. Despite the fanfare surrounding the groundbreaking, no construction progress could be seen. It was as if the promise of the city was fading into the distance, like an illusion. And behind the scenes, concerns were mounting. The Civil Forum, Senegal's chapter of Transparency International, started asking tough questions about the project's finances, shareholding structure, and the impact it would have on local communities. They demanded answers from the government and SAPCO. But by then, doubts had already begun to creep in. 2021, the radio silence. By early 2021, the world was waiting for the construction of Akon City to begin. The media had painted a picture of a thriving high-tech city, and expectations were high. Yet, as local journalists reported, the site remained eerily quiet. There was no sign of construction, and the so-called work was nowhere to be seen. As months passed, the skepticism only grew. Akon's promises were starting to sound more like a distant memory than a present reality. The project's credibility was on the verge of collapse. 2022, the accusations and the denial. By 2022, criticism of Akon City had reached a fever pitch. Some media outlets went so far as to call the project a scam. In March, a report by Dakaraktu raised the question: was Akon City a Ponzi scheme? Akon, ever the optimist, dismissed the accusations in a December interview with the BBC. He blamed the delays on administrative holdups and the COVID-19 pandemic. The project is 100,000% moving, he claimed, promising that skeptics would look super stupid in the future when Akon City finally materialized. But the problem was, the future never seemed to come. February 2023, Akon City is a scandal. As 2023 rolled around, the project continued to stagnate. Local MP Bara Gay took to the floor of Senegal's parliament, declaring, "Akon City is a scandal." He demanded that the Senegalese government cancel the contract, questioning why they continued to support the project. By this point, the city remained little more than an abandoned piece of land, with nothing more than a single, unfinished welcome center on site. The promised smart city remained an elusive dream. June 2024, SAPCO's formal notice. In June 2024, SAPCO, the tourism company that had partnered with Akon, issued a formal notice. They demanded that construction begin by the end of July, or they would reclaim the land. Behind the scenes, it was revealed that Akon had missed several crucial payments to SAPCO, further damaging the trust that was already on shaky ground. August 2024, work is progressing. Despite the mounting skepticism, one project manager insisted that work was still moving forward. According to Chaik Sek of Axiom Construction, geotechnical studies and environmental assessments were still underway. But by this point, the public had heard these promises before, and they were tired of waiting. June 26, 2025, the final blow. In June 2025, the final nail in the coffin came. Serigne Mamadou Mboup, the Director General of SAPCO, declared that Akon City is no longer relevant. It was an official death sentence for the project that had promised so much. Reports from Bloomberg and local media confirmed what many had already suspected. The site had devolved into an overgrown patch of land, with a basketball court and a small information center being the only real developments. The rest of the land was left for animals to graze. Today, goodbye. Future, back to the present. With Akon City officially cancelled, the dream is over. The futuristic renderings are nothing more than a distant memory, and the grand vision of a thriving, crypto-powered city is now a cautionary tale. In its place, SAPCO now plans to invest 665 billion CFA francs to turn the area into a more modest tourism hub, complete with hotels, apartments, and a marina. It's a far cry from the bold vision that once promised to change the future. Akon, for his part, has remained silent on the matter since the cancellation. The city that was meant to be Africa's urban renaissance has now become a symbol of the dangers of importing utopian fantasies without addressing real, pressing challenges. From population growth to access to essential services, Africa's cities need more than just grand ideas. They need sustainable solutions that address the needs of their people. And that's the story of Akon City, the rise, the fall, and the lessons we can learn from it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most ambitious urban projects of the 21st century, don't forget to subscribe to CrimeFacts for more real-life stories that are stranger than fiction. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.